What's up guys, ShinyHunterDestroyer here and welcome back to a brand new Pokemon Journeys anime discussion video. Today I will be talking about episode 68, which is titled Go's Rival, The Road to Mew. Guys, this episode, it was awesome. I'm very happy with it, but I don't feel qualified to talk about this episode today. I don't know what to do. This episode starts off with Ash and Go right on the doorstep of Professor Oak's lab to hand over some documents from Professor Cerise. After handing in these documents and having a little chit-chat, Professor Oak introduces Project Mew to the boys, a team with an aim to find Mew. Knowing Go's goal, Professor Oak invites Go to join the team, but Go declines, stating that he doesn't really enjoy working in teams. After that conversation, Ash gets to reunite with all of his Pokemon at the lab, and was that a sight to behold? Everyone was there loving Ash, well, except for a few Pokemon. Okay, maybe a little more than a few Pokemon, but Professor Oak tells Ash that Infernape was missing, and has been missing for a couple days now. The last thing Professor Oak remembers Infernape doing is battling with the other fire types at the lab. Hearing about this, of course, Ash would go out and try to look for Infernape with Go tagging along. Go kind of puts them off track by pointing out a Pidgeotto that he wanted to catch, and, well, after failing that capture, they encounter an Onix, which Go also failed catching. But with Onix though, Onix just wasn't having it, and it looked ready to ruin their days. Well, it never got to, with a Hydro Pump knocking the Onix away. Ash and Go turn their heads and see a Blastoise, and of course, finally, Gary is here making his return. Ash and Gary catch up for a bit until Gary asks to be introduced to Go. The two of them are introduced to each other, with Ash talking about him and Gary's history. And Gary talks about how he wants to know how skilled a Pokemon trainer Go is. In the end, saying that Go isn't qualified to be Ash's buddy. Back with why Gary is here though. Gary is here for Moltres, who is likely to appear in a valley in the area soon. After Ash tells Gary about Infernape, they conclude that Infernape could have sensed Moltres is coming and went to the same valley Gary was talking about, so off they went towards there. Well, that's with Go holding up the rear with both Ash and Gary at the front. Go was taking this hard, and it shows as Go was struggling to keep up, but with all the struggle, they still ended up making it to the valley. Gary asks Go about the area as in a way in testing his knowledge. When Go answers, though he did say correct facts, Gary pointed out more about Moltres and why now would be a perfect time for Moltres to appear. He had many points, another point being Ash's Infernape, who just so happened to be in the area. Infernape pops out and reunites with Ash, but soon after, it is time for Moltres to appear. Infernape was the first one who had a go at Moltres, but Moltres being Moltres, Moltres was too strong and managed to overpower Infernape. With Moltres nearing another attack on Infernape, Gary sends out Blastoise to fend off Moltres, landing some hits onto it, but it wasn't enough. Moltres uses Burn Up, which changes its type from Fire Flying to Flying, making it harder for Blastoise to do damage, and in the end, Blastoise faints. Now it's Go's turn, who sends out Cinderace. A Pyro Ball is sent Moltres' way, but Moltres dodges with ease and afterwards sends Air Slash Cinderace's way. Both Gary and Ash see Cinderace in danger, and they both send out electric moves to protect Cinderace, with Ash and Pikachu and Gary sending out Electivire. The lingering electricity from both Electivire and Pikachu hits Moltres dead on and does some good damage, and with that, Moltres just flies away. Dropping one of its feathers in the process too. Gary contains the feather and sends it off away using a Corviknight that was called over. When they get back to Oak's lab, Ash and Go notice that Gary was on the phone with someone. They were talking about the fire feather and about receiving the fire feather. The reason why is because of Project Mew. Gary is shown to be taking part in Project Mew, and one of his trial missions was to retrieve a Moltres feather. With him getting the Moltres feather, Gary earns a Project Mew token. Gary also comments on Go declining the Project Mew offer. He says that it was a pretty smart idea on Go's part, and that's because Gary says that a trainer at his level wouldn't be able to pass the trial missions anyway. With Go obviously bothered by that comment, Ash and Gary handshakes goodbye, with Gary vowing to not give up on his current goal, talking about going towards Mew. While Gary walks away, Go speaks up. After hearing Gary, Go decides to join Project Mew, and with all this excitement for Project Mew, the episode comes to an end. Oh my gosh, you guys, I want to talk about so much. Okay, maybe not, because I honestly, I don't feel qualified to talk about this episode a lot. I'm going to do it anyway, because I just love this episode so much. Just everything. even though I'm one of the people that wasn't able to appreciate it in its entirety, this episode in itself sets up so many things. We're going to see Gary again, guaranteed, because of Project Mew, but that's not it. Go's development as a trainer and a person entirely is starting to dig deep into me again. And guys, I can't wait to talk about more Go. You guys don't understand how long I've been waiting for this. I'm so excited. But I'll save that for last because I have a few things to touch on. First off, Gary. Though I don't have that much on Gary because reasons. What I could say is that I'm happy that Gary and Ash retained their friendship. A big concern for the longest time for me was them just completely ruining Gary as a character. But no, they didn't. Man, I need to trust Journeys more. I should have believed in them. I think what really made the appearance of Gary so special this episode was seeing the relationship with Ash and Gary. After not having Ash and Gary together for so long, if they were looking to bring Gary back for an arc, they're gonna have to reestablish many things, and that's what they did this episode. I'm really happy with how they handled this. More on Gary later, though. When I talk about Go, I just want to quickly get to now seeing, I guess, Ash's Pokemon. We knew it wouldn't be that long of a moment because they had a lot to fit into one episode, but really just seeing all the Pokemon that we did was nice. We didn't get to see all of Ash's Pokemon as they were, left out. It's just a glimpse of what they are capable of in Journeys, though. I've seen a lot of people disappointed about Infernape, and yeah, they did hype up Infernape quite a bit this episode, and I might be in the minority here, but I don't see it as that big a deal that we didn't see much battling from Infernape. I mean, he had his time. Would seeing Infernape getting more battle time be extra hype? Absolutely, because, it happening in Journeys, that would be crazy. But as someone who sees development first with battling second, I'm not that bothered by it. I think the Infernape moment itself was nicely produced. Nicely produced as in lead up to the Infernape moment made for nice small bits of development. Infernape was a good way to show how some of the Pokemon act at Oak's lab too, and specifically it's nice to just know that the Pokemon that are there are still working hard. And now for me to talk about the main course of this episode for me, starting with the highly anticipated Project Mew arc. And oh boy, this episode really, I was already excited for it, but not only because it's an arc that will bring us great action, but also it's an arc that has a chance to make large developments. In my excitement case, this would be specific to Go, being able to grow his goal even further, but also growing him as an actual researcher and trainer. What I see in Project Mew is something that will test Go, not only as a researcher looking for Mew, but it will also test if he has the willpower and strength to go towards this goal and be out of his comfort zone. What helps set this up is what Gary was saying to Go, and well, Go agreed. He was beat, but he wasn't gonna let that stop him. Go's emotions in this episode really got to him as he saw Ash and Gary spend time together. I'm just gonna get into it here. I loved these parts of the episode. It just put so many thoughts in my head, like questions and just relating thoughts to this whole thing. I've had moments like this too, where I felt left out, where I felt like the third wheel, and I think that's the reason why this part of the episode just stuck out to me. As usual, it's something about Go being relatable in some way, and I won't shut up about it. But also, it's not only that, I'm super interested in how Go will act when he meets other companions that are closer to Ash as well. We know that Go didn't really have many childhood friends, and, well, Ash is the person Go spends the most time with. So first, hearing that he wasn't good enough to be Ash's pal, and I mean, this is like the second time, and also seeing that same person who said that just vibe well with Ash, just like that, with the two of them catching up while Go is being left behind, that's gonna do something. I feel like more of this can happen in the future because it is right down the alley for Go's character. But, okay, back to Project Mew. As we saw with Gary's trial mission for Moltres, these missions aren't a walk in the park at all, with Gary's trial mission being basically taking on a darn legendary bird. It's gonna be a real challenge, and I'm super excited to see this play out. The last thing I want to talk about now is what Project Mew can develop with Go, especially his skill in a team. As he stated in today's episode, he doesn't really like working in a team, which was the main reason why he declined the first Project Mew offer. And then he saw Gary do better and he felt like he got beat, Same things I was talking about earlier. But it'll make things a lot more interesting to Go's character because it's another thing that is just outside of his comfort zone entirely. I can't wait to see how they handle that. But, I'll make a Project Mew wishlist video or something in the future. But for now, I'm really hopeful. More conflicts to overcome always sets up to nice development. But overall, this episode was great. We got to see Ash's old Pokemon, which even though we didn't see them for too long, it was something nice to add to this episode on top of everything else that happened. Maybe the failed capture scenes were a little unnecessary, but I don't really think that matters to me too much, as we got to see Gary and Ash catch up. And my favorite thing, we got to see the anime once again test the comfort boundaries for Go. An excited episode that I'm really happy we got. It could have been multiple parts, yes, but as an episode, it was really enjoyable to watch. And that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did enjoy, please consider hitting the like button because I super highly appreciate it. If you want to see more content like this, hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more of my videos. What did you think about Gary's return and Project Mew and Go? Let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Does anyone watch here? Hey guys, what's up? How you guys doing? I hope you guys are having a good day today. I hope you guys are doing great, and I gotta work on finals now. But yeah, thanks for thank you guys so much for watching this video. Have a nice day, guys. Peace out.